I want to do to help me be able to replace this board. Once I make these two cuts, and by the way, when I come down to this end, I'm going to hold back at least a 1/4 inch. I'm going to do that because I don't want to make a multiple board replacement, because all I have to do is put a chisel in there and tap it and it'll split that end. So why try to get right up to it? It's foolishness, all right? Once I have those two lines done, I'm going to put a diagonal line across it. Again, being very careful not to go into the next board. And the reason I'm going to do that is to cut this in half, because I want to be able to pick this up and pull it out, because it's got tongue and groove on each end. Pick up this and pull it out. Once I've done that, I'm going to collapse the two sides in, and I've got my board out of there. Does anyone do it differently than that?
I put 2 cuts and I remove the middle.
2 cuts and remove the middle.
I'm doing hex.
If you got a longer board, I may make 3 cuts.
I just do an X on each end if it's longer, but that one probably would give it just 1 X in the middle, no problem.
Okay.
You still cut it? You still
And
cut
is
the
it-
nails on old floor with hardened nails?
Say it again.
Do you still cut the nails on the old floor with hardened nails?
Old floors with hardened nails, do I cut them? No. Maybe I'm a little skittish, but I know better. So you do have to know, and again, that older floors, what are we talking about? Normally when they were hand nailing. So normally, you know, before the 60s or into the early 60s. If you've got a floor like that, be very careful. If you've got a floor like that, what you are going to do is move in here so that you know you can't hit it, and still collapse the ends. It'll make it a little harder to pull it together, but it can be done. A little chisel work, and boy, if you hit one of those case-hardened nails with a saw, it's a very dangerous situation. It may not only be a board replacement, but you'd be replacing your pants too. Any questions so far?
That's pretty clear.
Am I gonna have you do the physical stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I figured you'd walk.
That's quite all right. One thing that we've done here and that I would highly suggest is you have carpet or something to have all your tools ready.
Towel.
The other thing that Reed did for me, he's got this board almost prepped. Now, Woody did to prep this board that's going back in. One thing he's got a little bit left to do, because he's going to take out the bottom of that groove. A little bit more to do. You may feather a little of this with a block plane to ease it in. He's going to leave this tongue because he's going to put it into the groove and flop it straight down. The reason he didn't cut off this end yet, he prefers to get the board out of there, place this in here, take an X-Acto knife and scribe it perfectly. The reason to have this all done before you replace the board is as soon as we take that board out of there, the floor is going to want to collapse in on it. So the worst thing you can do is, if you have a lot of boards to replace, is to have a crew go in there and take them all out and send the crew back the next day to put them in. They'll all be in like this and be very difficult. They will hate themselves. They will be trying to make some kind of awkward fit to get it in there. The other thing is,